So look at this program. So I'm creating a class called static. See, S must be capital because in Java there is a keyword called static keyword. So that keyword cannot be used as a name of a class, right? So what is a keyword? A keyword has a special purpose, and that keyword must be used only for that purpose. So static and a keyword, static keyword is used to create a static variable or make a method a static method in Java program. So they must be used only for that purpose. You cannot use that static keyword as a name of a class or name of a variable, name of a method, name of an object. Like this you cannot use it. Okay. So instead of using small letter s, I am using capital letter S. So the name of the class I have defined it as static. And look at the instance variables. These are not actually instance variables, they are called as static variables. Okay. So first I'm creating a integer variable a, and then I'm making it as static. So when you are creating static variables, first you need to use the keyword static followed by space and then the data type of that variable. You cannot use int first and static next. First you have to use static, then the data type of the variable int. Okay. Then the variable name a, and I'm assigning 5, and another variable b is declared, so that is assigned a value 20. Okay. So what is the meaning of this static variable means? When you create a variable and make it a static like this, uh, they are not instance variables. First, they are different. If it is an instance variable, every object that you create for that class will have its own copy of that instance variables. Yesterday we discussed it, right? But coming to static variables, a static variable will not have multiple copies. Instead, there will be only one single copy for all the objects. So if you create n number of objects, then all those n number of objects must share the same variable, same copy of that static variable. If one object makes some change to that static variable, then that change will be reflected in all for all the objects, because it is shared by some people, all the objects. For example, let us say for example, uh, we have a water bottle kept on a table filled with water, and there are two persons living in that room. So if both of them are sharing that water bottle, if one person go, initially the water bottle is full, one person goes and consumes some water from that bottle. So when the second and comes back, and then later some, after some time, second person goes to drink water from the same bottle. So will the bottle be full again? It will not be full, right? Because already first person has he drank some water, consumed some water already. So the remaining water will be available. So that means whenever you are making some change to that water bottle quantity, if one person is making that change, the second person will be able to notice that change, because it is being shared by both the people. But alternatively, if there are two water bottles, exclusively one for each of those persons. So if one person consumes water from his bottle, it will not be reflected in other person's bottle, right? That bottle will be full still, right? So in the same way, instance variables are nothing but just like two people having their own bottles of water, whereas static variable is like having only one bottle of water shared by both the people, right? So that is a difference between a static variable and instance variable. So when you create an instance variable without using static keyword, so if I remove the static keyword here, then automatically a and b, both a and b variables will become instance variables. Okay. And when you create object for this class, static class, each and every object will have its own copy of these instance variables. But when I create these variables as static like this, then there will be only one copy of this a and b, and the same copy will be shared by all the objects that you create for this class. Okay. So that is the meaning of static variable. Okay. Then I am declaring one more variable c, that is also a static. So all the three variables are static. uh, So you can use the static keyword to make static variables, to create static variables like this, which will be only one copy for the entire class, and they will be shared by all the objects that you create for that class. And what is the other purpose of static keyword is you can create static blocks of code. Static block of code means any anything, any either a single line or multi-line code that is written within within braces is called as a block of code. So till now we have been seeing blocks of code, like methods like this is a block of code, right? But this block is a method block. And similarly we will be seeing a for block or while block or if block, else block, like this. But strangely now we can also create a block which is neither a method nor a loop, but it is a static block by simply using a keyword static. After that, open the brace, close the brace, and between the brace you can write any number of lines of Java code, and that block of code will become a static block. This will become a static block. Okay. Then after the static block, what I am doing in the static block, simply I am displaying a message using system.out.println. This is a static block. Then look at the next line. We are creating a method static void hello. This is a static method, right? Then below this method I am defining the main method. So that means what? Till now we have been creating only one method in the main method class, that is the main method. We didn't create other methods in the class where we defined main method, right? But Java allows you to define any number of methods along with main method in a class. It is not necessary that there must be only one main method in a class in which you are defining the main method. There can be other methods also. There can be other methods also. But the problem is when other methods are created, you will not be able to call them from the main method, because the rule is that a static method can only call another static method. A static method can only call another static method. Okay, so that is a rule in Java. So because the main method is a static method, we have been using public static void main, right? So what is the meaning of this static? Forget about public, we'll discuss about public later when we discuss a new topic. That is a new topic, we'll discuss separately why public is being used. For now you have to remember that the main method will be defined with public static void and main. So till now you know what is the meaning of void and what is the meaning of main. Main is the name of the method and void is the return type of the method. But you don't know why you are giving static till now, right? So now I'll tell you what is the purpose and what is the meaning of giving static keyword for the main method. We say that by using a static keyword for a method like this, we have to say that the method is qualified as a static method. So what will happen when you qualify a method as a static method? There will be some restrictions imposed on static methods. A static method can only call another static method. So now above this main method, because I defined another method called void hello, if I have to call this method from main method, I'll not be able to call it if I don't make that method also as static method. Okay, I can only call a static method from another static method, because main is a static method, and if I want to call hello method, even hello also must be a static method, then only you will be able to call. So if I remove this static keyword here for this method hello, then here where I'm calling the hello method, I'll get an error. Okay, first just look at the statements in hello method. Hello method has a simple system.out.println which will display hello, and main method has a system.out.println which will display the values of a, b and c that were declared here. A value is 5, b value is 20 and c value is 10, right? So that their values are displayed using the system.out.println, and then after that you are calling a hello method. Because both these methods hello and main are in the same class, you don't require an object to call them, you can directly call like this, right? But even though both these methods are defined in the same class, you will not be allowed to call the other method from the main method, because this is not a static method. Okay, so you must qualify this method also static. If you want to call hello, then this will be a valid statement. Calling hello here will be a valid statement. If this static is not used here, then this will not be a valid method call. Okay, so let me run this program and show you the output. So what is the output? The output has, this is a static block. So this statement is executed first. Even though you have a hello method and you have the main method, so you know that if in your class if there is a main method, then execution will begin from the main method, right? Because it is a static method, it happens so. But if there is a static block created like this, then before all these methods, the static block gets executed first. A value will be assigned 5 first, B value will be assigned 20, C value will be assigned 10, and then the static block gets executed. And after that, the main method gets executed. And what is main method doing? It is displaying A, B, C values. So in the output, you will be able to see A is 5, B is 20, C is 10, right? Then after this statement, where you are printing A, B, C values, you are making a call to hello. You are making a call to hello. So hello will call this hello method, and then this hello method will display hello message. So that's the reason at the end of the output you are having hello message. So now let me remove this static keyword here. See, I'm getting an error. So what is that error at line number? This is static.java. This is the file where error is generated. And colon 16 means what? The line number in which error is generated, right? In line number 16. So you observe where I am making a call. Here I am making a call. And the line number of this is 16. You can see at the bottom of the notepad status bar. Okay, 16, line number 16, column number 3. So that is the position of the cursor currently in the notepad. So here you are getting an error. So that line number will be mentioned and followed by a colon symbol, and there will be a description about that error that has occurred in your program. So what is that error? Non-static method hello cannot be referenced from a static context. Okay, so static is a hello method is not a static. This is simply public void hello. So because it is not static, you cannot call that hello method from another static method. If main method is not static, then we can call. But the main is defined in such a way that it must be static. So we cannot call hello method. So if you want to make a call to hello method, then you must qualify this also as static. Then only you will be able to call hello. Okay. So what do you understand from this? So we can call these as static members. Static members of a class. So what are static members means? These static members can be variables. They can be static variables. Two, you can have static methods. And third, static blocks. Okay, so you can have in a class these three types of static members. One is static variables, second one is static methods, and third one is static blocks. All these three I have used in my program, right? So a, b, c, all these are static variables, and this block is a static block. This is a static block. So you can mention in comment if you want, this is a static block. Okay, and this is a static method. Hello is a static method, and even the main method is also a static method. This is also a static method, right? So all the three types of members we have used. So what is the speciality of the static variables means? Static variables, so there will be only one copy of static variables which will be shared by all the objects of that class. Okay, so only one copy of these static variables will be created in your program, and all the objects of the class will share the same copy. So if one object makes a change to a static variable, it will be reflected for all the objects. So remember that bottle example that I told you. So static variable is like having only one bottle shared by two people. Instance variables are like having two different that means each person having his own exclusive water bottle, right? And coming to static methods, So when a method is qualified with static keyword, it can only call other static methods within the same class. So that means what? If there are any non-static methods in another class, those methods can be invoked from the static method. But within the class, it can only invoke other static methods. If there are any non-static methods, they cannot be invoked. So that is the meaning of this one. And so a static method can be invoked outside the class without creating an object for the class in which it is defined. Means what? So if you want to call a static method from outside the class in which that static method is defined, you can do so by without creating an object. You can directly call it. But how to call it? Use the class name. Okay. So this is about static methods. I'll write one more program for this one so that you'll understand completely about static methods. And coming to static blocks, okay, so you don't require any object and anything to call invoke this static block. Automatically when you run the program, there will be the first block of statements to be executed. No need of invoking them like methods. Okay, so we have already seen in our program here a static block. Without making any call to it, automatically this block got executed first, and we have seen in the output of the program, this is a static block, which is part of static block has been printed first. Okay, so now let me make some change to this program. I'll define some other another class here. So what is the change I made? Instead of defining the hello method in the same class where the main method is defined, I am defining another class, and inside that I am defining this method. Even the static variable also I defined them, I created them in the static demo class. Okay, so now when you run this program, what will happen? First thing, because hello is not part of the same class, you cannot directly call the hello method from main method. You require an object or class name, right? So you will generate an error here. So four errors are generated. System.out.println a is equal to plus a, b is equal to plus b, c is equal to plus c, because now a, b, c are no longer part of the class static. They are declared in static demo class, so you cannot access these variables directly here. So how to access them? How to access other class variables from this class, from the current class? You need an object, right? But because these variables are static variables, you don't require an object to access them. Instead, you can use a class name. So here I can use, the class name static demo dot a to access the variable a's value. I don't require an object. This is what we mentioned here. A static method can be invoked outside the class without creating an object. Similarly, it applies even for the variables also. Okay, so it is not required even for static variables to access them outside the class. A, B, C are declared in static demo class, but where I am accessing them? Outside the static demo class, inside static class, I am accessing inside the main method, right? So I didn't create an object for that static demo class, right? So if you don't create an object, you can directly use the class name static demo.a. Similarly, B also static demo.b, static demo.c. So this is the right way. So now let me compile the program. If I compile the program, then that error, the first error must be removed. Right now, how many errors I am getting? Only hello error. Previously, apart from this error, you have variable b, variable c. The same error you are getting three times because there are three variables. And the fourth error is nothing but making a call to hello method. Hello method cannot find symbol. Why? What is the meaning of cannot find symbol? How can you call a method which is outside a class without using an object directly? You cannot call, right? You have to create an object for the class and call. But because that method is a static method in that class, you don't require an object. So directly you can even call the method also like this, static demo dot hello. Okay. Then now let me see, compile the program. So it is compiled successfully. And look at the output. First you are getting a, this is a static block. Where is this is a static block? It is defined in the class static block is defined. So this is being executed first. Then after that main method gets executed and main method will display a, b, c values. So you are displaying a is equal to 5, b is equal to 20 and c is equal to 10. And then you are making a call to static demo dot hello method. So this method gets executed and this will print hello message. Okay, is that clear? You can speak.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, sir.
Yeah, this is.
Sir, static
Yeah,
block another every time when you declare in a class, it should be above main method or it can be below main method also.
you can write it anywhere, but it will be the first one to be executed.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. So it is not the place where you define, whether you define first main or first static block, it doesn't matter, right?
Okay.
Static block will be the first one to be executed, and after that the main method will be executed.
Okay, sir.
So now let us make one more small change to this program. So instead of defining that static block in the main method class, I am defining the static block in the another class, that is
Static.
static demo class. So even then also the static block will be the first one to be executed, right? So no
Okay, sir.
matter whether where you put, the static block will be executed for the first time. Now I'll make a little more small change here. So now what I'm doing, I'm creating two static blocks.
Two.
One
Yeah.
in the first class static demo and the other one in the second class static.
Yeah.
So which one is being executed first?
In the main method one.
This is another static block in the main method that is being executed first, and then this one is being executed.
Well,
Okay. So
yes.
what you must understand is, if your static block is defined in the main methods class, right? So that static
Yeah.
block will be executed first, then the main method will be executed. If your static block is defined in another class other than the main method, then the static class inside that another class will be executed first, then the main method will be executed. But if there are multiple static blocks, one in the main method class and another one in another class, so in whichever class the main method is there, that static block gets executed first, and then the second static block will be executed, which is outside the class in another class, and then again come back to this class and execute the main method. Okay, fine. So whatever may be the
Yes.
case, static blocks will be executed before main method, right? So first, which one
Okay.
is executed? This static block is executed, right? Inside the below
Yeah.
the main method, what is there, that is executed. Then after that, is it executing the main method? No, it is going to this static block in this class, and then this is being executed. And then after that, it will come back to the main method and execute this main method. Okay, so
Sir,
this,
for every time you write a static block,
yeah,
the name will be just simple static. That's it.
that's it.
You can write n number of blocks in the program.
Yeah, you can write n number of blocks, but
Okay.
will not use the static blocks unnecessarily. Because why? Because they'll be automatically executed. You need not call them. When you run the
Okay.
program, automatically the code inside them will be executed, right? But
Yeah.
in real time application, the programs will not be like so. We want the code, a specific code, to be executed only when we want it to be executed. Not every time you execute the program, run the program, it should not be executed, right? So now, for
Okay.
example, hello method is there here. When this hello
Yeah.
method is being executed, only when I make a call to that method, it will be executed. Otherwise, it will not be executed, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Why? Because I don't want. unnecessarily to execute this hello method. Only if I want, I'll call it. Otherwise, I'll not call it. But what is this static block happening? What is happening to the static block? Even irrespective of whether you want that to be executed or not, they'll be automatically executed. So unnecessarily, why execute that static block? So that's why people don't normally use static blocks, right? They'll use static methods, but they'll not use static blocks. Don't use as many static blocks as you want in your program. It is not suggested,
Okay, sir.
even though you can do, but don't do it. Okay. నీకు మనకి ఫ్రీడమ్ ఉంది. వీ హ్యావ్ ఫ్రీడమ్ ఆఫ్ కన్స్యూమింగ్ హౌ మచ్ ఫుడ్ వీ వాంట్, రైట్? ఎంత కావాలంటే అంత
Yeah.
తినాలనిపిస్తుంది. బట్ క్యాన్ వీ ఈట్ ఎనీ క్వాంటిటీ? వీ కెనాట్,
Now we get fat.
right? Is there any case, is it illegal to have consumed that much amount of food? Nobody will fine you for it, nobody will question you for that. But
No.
you are going to face the trouble if you
Yeah.
take more, if you consume more food, right? Other than more than what is required for you, if you try to consume it, who will be in trouble? You will be in trouble. So in the same way, if you try to use more static blocks unnecessarily, you will be in trouble. So don't use static blocks unnecessarily. Very rarely we will use static blocks, but because I have to tell you that there is such concept in Java which can be used, I'm saying.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So because static methods or static blocks are the first one to be executed even before objects are created, so that's the reason how the main method gets executed. Because it is static, you don't require object for this main method to be invoked, because you are invoking this main method from outside the program before, even before you create a object for the class in which the main method is defined. So that's the reason why you qualify it as static and save that program file using the class name in which the main method is defined. Okay, so by class name you are making a call to main method. That is the purpose why we save the program with the file name as same as that of the class in which the main method is defined. That's the reason for it. Okay. Anything else?
That's it, sir.